the nature of your medical emergency.
Hey dudes and dudettes, it's Nuke, and this is day 3 of the OSL Round of 16. I think this is the game that everyone is kind of waiting for in this group. JangBi versus Flash. Good old-fashioned revenge type of match for Flash, I think. Because Flash was the one who was knocked out of the last OSL by JangBi. Yeah, JangBi made it to the round of 8 versus Flash, and all the JangBi fans were like, well, JangBi had a good run, and now you're going to get destroyed by Flash. But no! He beat Flash to move on and win the Gen Air OSL. But here we go. Except, up at the 2 o'clock position in blue is JangBi. Down at the 5 o'clock position in orange is Flash. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to commentate today, because yesterday I had a sore throat. I was like, oh man, a cold's coming on. Drank a lot of orange juice to give my white blood cells some munitions for the battle. They're doing a pretty good job. They're still waging battle. I woke up this morning with a hacking cough. I was like, oh no, the Brood War gods are trying to spite me. And smite me. Smite me and spite me. But somehow it's starting to clear up. I love my white blood cells. Very strong immune system. I'm proud of you guys. High fives all around. Okay, this is the sound of the high fives, but okay, let's get some predictions from the Nukenites. Here's one from Ryukin. Ryukin writes, I'm happy as long as Flash loses. Hopefully as fast as possible. Wow. Anti-Flash fan. Don't see many of those these days. There were a lot of anti-Flash fans when Flash was first starting out. And when he was a very cheesy Terran, he made a name for himself by being a cheesy player. Came up with some very creative cheese. I remember a very good one on Monte Cristo where he actually utilized refineries to break through a mineral wall. But anyway, let's move on to another one. Here's one from Maple Meadows, writes, Flash is going to eat his team alive. That's kind of, that's a bad mental image too. How many flashes does it take to consume? Okay, anyway. Deadbeat XT writes, JangBi is so screwed. Flash in action, moving out. Absolutely no confidence in JangBi at all. Here's another one from Medical Hippie writes, I'm calling Stork versus JangBi in the finals for the most legendary PvP finals ever. I'd say that Stork would probably lose that one too, because head-to-head I believe that JangBi is undefeated. JangBi always seems to beat Stork. He has a very good leg up on Stork in PvP whenever they're faced off against each other, which isn't often. You usually don't have the teams facing each other, because obviously in Pro League that's not going to happen, and in individual leagues the players will try to make it so that teammates don't end up in the same group. The Action versus Flash match in this group was kind of an oddity in that regard. But okay, anyway. Command Center coming up for Flash, and I saw the second Gateway coming up for JangBi, not even expanding yet. Getting the second Gateway on, gonna send out some Dragoons. And there's the Dragoon range coming up already, so we're gonna have a lot of Dragoons out to pressure the front soon. JangBi knows he needs to get on the aggression early, keep Flash preoccupied so he doesn't get to his strong mid-game play, mid and late game. And that seems to be the Protoss strategy versus Terran as of late. If you look at the Pro League finals from last season, I'd say Bisu's game versus Flash is definitely illustrative of that. Yeah, did the proxy Gateway to start it out with, and then just kept stealing the gas and just bombarding him with troops. You just gotta beat Flash down in the early game if you want to win the game these days, it seems. But okay, there's JangBi's moving up to try to, well, he's looking for the SCV, I think, scouting SCVs on the high ground area, but he wasn't able to find it, so yeah, Flash is hiding his, whoa, Citadel of Adun for JangBi. He's gonna rush some DTs. Nice. So he has prepared a rush strategy. I was just talking about this in last week's commentaries, how the players have been practicing 2 games at once, and that means ridiculous cheese is on the way for us. And it looks like that did not disappoint. Flash, oh, the scout. Scout goes down, so Flash is going to be in the dark until he scans that main. And he might not even find it with a scan of the main, since JangBi hit it so high up. The highest point inside of his main, he might not find this at all until it's too late. There's the Templar archives for JangBi, and DT's going to be flooding down. Let's see if Flash will have detection ready for when that comes. Flash is building another barracks, actually. He's building another barracks, possibly going for a mid-game push. He has his academy on the way, working up to scan, but I didn't see the engineering bay anywhere. No, he's just protecting his bunker, repairing the bunker at the front, keeping it away from these. Oh, the Dragoons coming in, actually getting forward, killing some SCVs. Very close to that bunker, but no tanks out yet for Flash because he's still working on getting that barracks. Second barracks up inside of the main. There's Flash trying to get as close as he possibly can to the bunker. But SCV's just being killed all over the place, and now JangBi's backing off. He has 2 Dragoons in red, so he was microing that entire time, absorbing some damage with 1 Dragoon, just kind of backing off with it, and sending the rest forward. That's very good micro. And the second base coming down for JangBi, so he'll be able to transition if this rush should fail. The observer's looking at another barracks. This might be deep 6 from Flash, but he's definitely going to do a mid-game push. That seems to be what this is. And Comset Station's just now coming down. Here come the Dark Templar. Dark Templar on the way. Let's see how quickly that Flash will react to this. He's trying to get Medic and Marine Army out with a few tanks to push the front. But this build can have a lot of problems against Dark Templar, just because, Flash scans immediately. It looks like he might have actually seen the blur on the map. Second DT sneaks in, though, almost went down. Oh my god, Flash was so close to taking that down, but it's going to give him a few more problems. Here inside the main, he might have to transfer over with his SCVs to that second. Oh my god, I think Flash just killed it. He must have killed it with Splash. He must have splashed his own SCV to kill that last Dark Templar. That's amazing. Oh, Flash. Never cease to amaze me. But there's the engineering bay coming up now for Flash. He's going to get out turrets to protect his bases. But he's kind of committed to this build now. He has to keep pumping Medic and Marines to push JangBi, which means he's going to need a lot of scan. He has to preserve his scan and use basically turrets to defend his base, but he forced another scan, gets rid of the Dark Templar at the front, trying to fight back these Dragoons to the best of his ability, but another Dark Templar in the area, another scan from Flash. And this is going to put him behind. If he keeps pushing right now with his Medic and Marine troop, he's going to eventually be taken down because he's running out of scan fast. Yeah, as you can see, he's kind of doing a retreat, falling back for now to defend and get up his turret. The turret will give him the vision at the natural expansion. That's all he needs right now. And he might just end up building a line of turrets to JangBi's base to continue this mid-game push, but even another Dark Templar harassing the troops as they try to move up. Taken down, though, by Flash. And caught that other Dark Templar in a little bit of that scan, but the scan wears off and he's got to back off again. So this push is not going well for Flash at all. I think he will just have to build turrets because he's used up all of his scan. He's waiting for the 50... Yeah, he's trying to build turrets on the high ground area, and a sneaky position. He was found, though, by JangBi. JangBi finds that immediately, kills that, and there is Flash doing his best to scan. He scans a little bit ahead. That was actually smart of Flash, scanning ahead of the threat, just so he could find another Dark Templar, try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, 2 Dark Templar with 1 stone, anyway. There's Flash. He's still being grinded down by the Dark Templar. He's falling back now to the turret that's being built on this high ground. It looked like that will come up. So he's making progress, slowly but surely. He is going to make it to JangBi's base. He has that high ground area outside of his natural expansion. And there's JangBi still trying to come in with the Dark Templar. Another scan, taking out the Dark Templar. So Flash is actually making it to this natural expansion, but the High Templar coming in now with Storm. Oh, Storm, absolutely devastating to this kind of attack. Flash was trying to beat that Storm timing, but it didn't quite make it, and yeah, this is going to be shut down. Nothing that Flash can do about this except fall back, wait for more reinforcements, and try to push again. But it's, wow, his chances are not looking good to actually make use of this build. He's continuing to pump Medic and Marines, but as you saw from that one storm, Medic and Marines go down so quick to storms. And that is why JangBi pumped that High Templar and got Storm Research as quick as he could to fight back this push. And now with the, look at all these High Templar outside the natural, I just don't see a way that Flash can win this unless he does some expert storm dodging. You see, he's establishing another high ground area with the turret to fend off the Dark Templar. Inching forward with his tanks. He doesn't have a whole lot of tanks, but he has a couple more reinforcements on the way, I think. Crawling his way up, going to try to attack this high ground area. The storm going to be absolutely devastating. I think that, yeah, Flash was trying to draw the storms a bit by doing that attack, but he's lost everything. That GG from Flash. So JangBi has 2-0 in this group now, which is always a great position. If you have 2 wins and a round of 16 group, the only way you'll not move out into the round of 8 is if you get caught in an upper rung tiebreaker and don't win. So the returning champs' chances are looking very good. Alright, let's move on to Group B now.